Hi everyone. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Evening, sir.
Good evening, bro.
Can we all have a camera switched on?
Good evening, sir.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening.
Can we all have our camera switched on? Okay. So guys, a small introduction before I start with today's lecture. So my name is Bhavik Waghela and I will be your ACCA FR faculty. Talking about my qualifications, I am a qualified ACCA. I have been teaching kids or the students since last 7 years now. Talking about my practical experience, I had made a career I was before I started into teaching, I was into IFRS. So I was working as an IFRS consultant as well, where I used to help the entities or the clients with preparation of their financial statements as per IFRS. Okay. So yes, this is all about me. And before we start with the session, I would just like to know that how many of us have taken the FA exemption? Like how many are from us are from the exemption route? Like you must have received some exemptions basis your BCom. You can just, raise your hands. You have an option to raise your hands in Zoom meeting. This will actually help me design the lectures. Okay. Okay. So FR, is this our first skill level paper, guys? Everyone, is this our first skill level paper? Or we have already given some other papers?
This will be the first one.
First one. Okay.
First one,
The
sir.
first one.
First one, sir.
Okay.
First
No
one, sir.
problem. First one. Okay, no problem. So let me talk about financial reporting first. Okay. Now let us try understand why do we have this subject. Okay. Now every entity that prepares, carries out the business, they would like to know their profit or loss situation at the end of the year. See, the reason that they are carrying out their business activities is firstly for the profit purpose, to make profit. So any businessman would like to know what is the profit or loss and what are their assets and liabilities. So for this, they have to prepare their financial statements. They have to prepare their financial statements. Now, the concern over here is if there is no rule or no standards that are given, then everyone will be preparing or they will start preparing their financial statement as per their own convenience. Now, once people start preparing financial statement as per their own convenience, then what will happen is the comparability of the financial statements will go for a toss. I want to compare the financial statements of Reliance Industries with the Adani Industries. I cannot compare it. Why? Because there is no same rule that has been followed by both the entities. Correct? So don't you think if the today the economy is at the global level, right? We are into globalization. So what happens is there is this body IASB, International Accounting Standard Board, that has developed and issued IFRS accounting standards. So what is the full form of IFRS? It is International Financial Reporting Standards. Okay. International Financial Reporting Standards. And what we will be learning over here is for each and every element of the financial statements, we have some accounting standards, that is, the rules that are given. How is a particular transaction recorded? How do you present them in your financial statement? How do you show them in your financial statements? And so on. So comparatively, FR is way easier because it's more of logic and rules. You have to remember the rule. Okay, this is something the standard tells me. So we will be learning everything logically, so it won't be difficult or challenging for us because once we memorize things, it then becomes difficult for us. So we won't be memorizing anything. We will be learning it logically. And trust me, guys, the experience, the exposure that I have gained in IFRS in my practical life will help us build this subject, the conceptual clarity, the core, the grip that you will be getting over this subject, okay, will be to the next level. Everyone? So today, what I have planned is I'll show you the paper pattern of the subject, what all kind of questions that will be tested, the paper pattern, and then we touch the basics of accounting today. Okay. And then I will start with IFRS 13, that is the fair value measurement a standard. Okay. And then if time permits, we start with some other chapter. I am not starting with a theory chapter today, everyone. Okay. I just assume that we all have the basic knowledge of what do we mean by assets, liabilities, income, expenditure, and all these current assets, non-current assets. We all know these. Anyone who has some challenge in this particular thing? Anyone having any challenge in this? Relating to non-current assets, non-current liabilities, current assets, current liabilities, and all such things? No? Perfect. Then let us do one thing. We start with the introduction of this subject. We all understood why do we have this particular subject. Okay. Now see here, it will be less on preparing the final accounts. It will be more on how do we record a transaction? How do we report a transaction? See, it's not financial accounting that we are learning. It's reporting. Accounting is already done in your knowledge level paper. Okay. So we won't be learning the accounting stuff again. It is all about reporting. How do you report a particular transaction in your financial statement? Okay. And one more thing before I go into this subject, there was one chapter which was IAS 1, presentation of financial statements, International Accounting Standard 1. It is replaced by IFRS 18. So that chapter got removed and a new chapter is in place. Okay. And guys, this actually does not affect your any other accounting standards. It has just changed the presentation of your P&L item. The way you present statement of profit and loss has changed and nothing else, nothing more over here. Okay. So with this, we come to the basics of accounting and the basics of the subject financial reporting. Just let me know once my screen is visible. Yes, Kalpana. You have a question, Kalpana? Okay. Guys, can we all switch our cameras on? Everyone? Perfect. Now, guys, this is our structure. This is our structure. Currently, we all are at the skill level. Okay. So if you see, I have written this in same cell color and same formatting. But this tells us that all these three subjects are interrelated. FA forms a base for FR, which forms a base for your SBR. SBR is strategic business reporting. Okay. So our papers, our exams will be on quarterly exams from skill onwards. Okay. Now talking about the paper pattern, the paper pattern, just a minute. The FR paper is divided into three sections. Section A, B, and C. In section A, we have 15 MCQs of 2 marks each. Okay. Section B, we have 3 multitask questions. Now, what do I mean by multitask questions? You will be given 3 case studies. Each of these case studies will be having further 5 MCQs. So likewise, you will be having 3 such questions. So 3 multitask questions of 10 marks each, which is again 30 marks. So section A and B, both are your objective paper. Okay, both are objective. That is either MCQ or fill in the blanks or something like this. Now, talking about section C, this is your constructed response question banks. Now, here, what are the type of from which chapter they can ask you is they will test section C either from single entity FS and consolidation or interpretation, analysis and interpretation. So they can ask any two questions out of this. So do we have any option? Any two out of three? The answer is no. They will be giving you two questions. You will be solving two questions. And each of these questions will carry 20 minutes. So total is 40 for section C. So 30 plus 30, 60 plus 40 makes your FR 100 mark of paper. And to clear FR, you need to score at least 50. You need to score at least 50. Now, negative marking, do we have any negative marking? The answer to this is no. Now, what do I mean by negative marking is you will not be penalized for incorrect answers in your section A and B. So let us say there was a 2-mark question, you scored it incorrect. Okay, you answered it incorrectly. So you will just be getting 0. Had there been negative marking, you would have got minus 0.25. But there is no such negative marking in our ACCA syllabus, in our ACCA course. Okay. And what is the total time that will be available to us is 3 hours. Actually, you get 3 hours and 15 minutes, but the 15 minutes are just for reading the question paper, not reading the question paper, just reading the instructions that will be given to you in your exam. So actually, you get 3 hours only to complete your paper. Everyone? Okay. Just a minute, I put this. Now, guys, there are certain definitions that we will be learning. This might sound quite, basic that we are touching, but I need to ensure that we all are on the same page before we start with our FR syllabus. Okay. Okay, this session, this part will act as a refresher of what all we have learned pertaining to accounts till date. But I feel it's necessary that we need to do it so that in future we don't have any questions or doubts regarding, sir, why is this particular ledger account debited or credited? Okay. So that we do not face any challenge in recording the accounting entries or the journal entries in future, in our future session. Okay. So we first start with the definitions, basic definition. Now, what do I mean by transaction? See, what happens is in financial reporting, we will be recording the transactions. We will be reporting the transactions in the financial statements. Now, what do I mean by transaction? It is business dealing between two people. So if it's a personal transaction or personal dealing, we will not be recording and reporting it. We just record and report the business dealing. Okay. For example, I am conducting lectures over here. Now I get compensation from VGLD. Now this is a business dealing. So in my financial statements, I will be recording this transaction and I will also be reporting this transaction in my financial statements that I prepare. Now let us say just before this lecture, I had my lunch. Now having lunch is also a transaction, right? I ordered food from a restaurant. Now, don't you think this is a transaction? But is this my business transaction? The answer is no. This is a personal transaction. So I do not record personal transaction into my financial statements. Everyone understood. We always record business transaction into our books of accounts. Second is income. Now, what do I mean by income is receipt of cash after selling goods or providing services. Perfect. Let us say Harshraj sold goods to someone. Now he will be receiving cash for selling these goods. So this cash that he received or cash that is receivable, right? Depending on cash sales or credit sales. Let us say Harshraj sold these goods on credit. Depending on the cash goods being sold for cash or on credit, this will be income for Harshraj. Yes or no? Harshraj sold goods on credit to, let us say, Vandana. So this is an income for Harshraj, but an expense for Vandana. Okay, income for one party has to be expense for another party. The expense means payment of cash after buying goods or receiving service. Everyone understood this? Okay. Guys, just a small rule we follow. Okay. Let us say I am explaining any particular concept or solving an illustration and you have a doubt in between. You have an option to raise your hand in your Zoom meeting. So you can just raise your hand and once I call out your name, you can ask me your doubt. Be it any silly doubt or any kind of doubt, please feel free to ask me. Don't shy away from asking your doubt because once a doubt, it always remains a doubt. It never gets resolved. Everyone. So be it any kind of doubt, feel free to raise your hand and ask me your doubt at any point of time in class. Okay, everyone? Perfect. Next one is asset. Now, asset is anything that a business entity owns, laptop, furniture, etc. Okay. Now, I am using this laptop to conduct lectures, right? Now, can I say I will be generating cash? I will be generating cash from the use of this laptop. Now, any such thing that helps me generate cash is my asset. And guys, amount receivable is also an asset for us. Amount receivable is also an asset for us. So what is a liability? It is any amount that we owe to someone. Now, what do I mean by owe to someone? An amount which is payable to someone. Okay. So any amount payable is a liability, loan, amount payable to another service provider, etc. Okay. Any questions so far? Anyone? Yes, Alok.
Sir, for
Or
income and
anyone?
expenses, it is mentioned as receipt of cash or payment of cash. अगर accrual basis पे मतलब आज पेमेंट नहीं हुई है बट ट्रांजेक्शन हो गया तो क्या वो भी तो
That
इनकम एंड एक्सपेंस कहलाएगा?
yes, again that could be your income and expense. This is just the basic level that I've taken. Even if your certain expense or income are accrued, it will again form a part of your income and expense only. This is just a basic level that I'm discussing. Okay?
ओके सर.
Guys, I just request that if you have any doubt, you raise your hand because it will actually help me know whom I am interacting with. Because we are 57 of us, I can just see five cameras at a time. So if anyone talks at any point of time, I do not know whom I am talking to, whom I am interacting with. Okay, perfect. Next we have is account. Now, why do we prepare an account is, let us try to understand. Just a minute. Let us say a company like Reliance Industries. Now imagine the number of transactions that must be taking place in Reliance Industries on a daily basis, the number of offices that Reliance Industries must be having. Now let us say Mukesh Ambani wants to know the total of electricity expense that it has paid throughout the year. Now, there are two ways to record a transaction. The first way that I'm telling you is actually not a way. Okay. For example, you are just writing every transaction that takes place, you write it in your diary as electricity bill for May 25,000. Electricity bill for June 30,000. Electricity bill for July 40,000. Now, do you think Mukesh Ambani has so much of time that he can read through all these transactions and take up the total manually, and then he is like, okay, my bill for the year is 95,000. Let us say for the 3 months is 95,000. Do you think he has so much of time? The answer is no. So for this, what we do is to overcome this, we prepare an account. Now, what is an account? Now, it is a summary which helps us track all the transactions pertaining to the financial activities at one place. Okay. So what I do is I prepare an account known as electricity account. And I write all the amounts at one place. That is 25,000, 30,000, 40,000. Tell me which one would be more convenient, first approach or the second approach? What do you think? Which one would be more convenient for us? Obviously, the second one. So, for every transaction that we enter into, we prepare an account. And this account gives us a summary. It gives us a summary. Okay, so what is an account? It is a record in an accounting system that tracks the financial activity relating to a particular person, asset, liability, or a particular head of expense or income recorded at one place. Okay. So for every different income, we will be having different account. For example, sales, I will be having sales account. Interest income, I will be having interest income account. I will be having rent income account, commission income account, and so on. And why do we do this? To keep a track of all the transactions at one place. Everyone understood this account. Okay. And every transaction that takes place will always affect two accounts. Why? Because we follow double entry system of bookkeeping. So every journal entry or every transaction that we will record will have two impacts. First, the debit. Second, the credit impact. Okay. Now let us say Bhavik conducted lectures and he charged a fee for 1,50,000. He received the payment in check. Now what I do is, how do I record this transaction? Okay. I will have to see the two impacts over here. The first impact is the amount that is charged by Bhavik is an income. And second, he received check for this. Correct? So can I say income for Bhavik is a nominal account? And as per nominal account, we credit all the income and gain. So I will credit income and we receive check. And guys, check, debit what comes in, or what I would say, debit the receiver, if I consider it as a personal account. Why? Bank will be receiving this money on my behalf. So the journal entry that I record is debit cash or bank. I would simply write debit bank and credit income. Amount is 1,50,000. So this is how we record a journal entry. Every transaction will have two impacts, debit impact and credit impact. Everyone understood? Perfect. Bank account debit to income account. Guys, how many types of accounts do we have? How many types of accounts do we have? Three. And can someone name me? Raise your hand and name me. Perfect. Real, nominal, and perfect. Yes, tell me. Yes, Pratham.
Sir, personal account, real account or nominal?
Perfect. Personal, real, and nominal. Now, guys, personal account is account relating to person or people. The rule for this account is debit the receiver, credit the giver. Real account is account pertaining to the things. Okay. So the rule here is debit what comes in, credit what goes out. And nominal account is uh, all types. It is a type of account which represents your income and expenses. So debit all expenses and losses, credit all income and gain. Everyone understood this. Okay. So these are our golden rules of accounting. Okay. Now let us come to question number 1, and we classify these into income, expense, assets, and liabilities. One by one, you guys have to raise your hands. I call out your name and you give me the answer. Okay? So who wants to start? Yes, Tanisha. Furniture.
Asset.
It is an asset. Equipment. Dell, can you just change your name? You can write your personal name. I don't know your name. Dell.
Sure, sir, I will change it. Next one is also asset.
Okay, it is also an asset. Yes, Vandana. Rent received
It's an income.
is an income. Perfect. Vehicle. Yes, Kalpana. Can you please come again? Your voice, you are not audible, Kalpana. Asset. Yes, Tejas. Bank balance.
Asset.
Asset. Cash in hand. Side. Side.
Asset.
Asset. Vajreshwari, are you the same who were there in PM lecture? Who was there in PM class?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Electricity bill. Who wants to go?
Expense.
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 Perfect. Priyanshi, office rent.
Expense.
Expense.
Sir, expense.
Perfect. Per me, salary.
Expense.
Alok, loan taken.
Liability, sir.
Loan taken is a liability. Perfect. Next, Mudassar, loan given.
Asset.
It is an asset. Perfect. Lipika, creditors.
The liability.
It's a liability. Uh, Harshraj, debtors.
It's an asset, sir.
It's an asset. Perfect. Last, uh, Tanisha, shares in Reliance Limited.
Asset.
This is again an asset. Perfect. Okay, fine. Then basics of accounting. We already discussed this, the types of accounts, the meaning of the accounts. I have written examples also, and also the rule for each of the accounts. Personal account. This is an account related to individuals, companies, groups of associations, etc. Example include Nimra's account, Tarun's account, bank account, Sanvi's account, etc. The rule for this is debit the receiver, credit the giver. Real account, it is related to assets or properties. Okay. Example include machinery, furniture, land and building, goodwill, shares, cash, investment, etc. The rule for this is debit what comes in, credit what goes out. Last is the nominal account. Okay. These are all related and associated with the losses, expenses, incomes, or gains. Okay. Example include salary, electricity bill, rent paid, traveling expense, commission received or paid, bad debts, discount received or paid, etc. Okay. Debit all expenses and losses, credit all incomes and gain. This is your rule to this. Okay. Keeping this in mind, we have one illustration to be solved. What we will be doing here is we will be classifying each of these accounts into personal, real, and nominal. Okay. We will be classifying each of these into personal, real, and nominal. We again follow the same exercise. All of you, one by one, you raise your hand. Okay. Yes, Sujata. Bank of America.
Personal.
Okay. Guys, can you mute it? I can see some background disturbance. Perfect. Yes, Sai. Furniture.
Asset.
No, you have to tell me personal, real, nominal.
Real.
Real. Yes, Parami. Equipment.
Real.
Real. Yes, Kalpana. Suppliers account. Suppliers account, Kalpana.
Personal.
Personal. Yes, Harshraj. Customers account.
It's personal, sir.
Personal. Tejas. Electricity expense.
So nominal account.
Nominal account. Ayushi. Rent received.
Nominal.
Nominal. Perfect. Uh, Pratham. Discount allowed.
Nominal.
Nominal. Yes, Misty. Discount received.
Nominal account, sir.
Nominal account. Then Pooja. Cash.
Real account, sir.
Real account. Alo. Inventory.
Real account, sir.
Real account. Vandana. Outstanding electricity.
Nominal.
No. Who would like to try this? It's not nominal. Guys, outstanding electricity, it represents the amount payable to someone. Okay. Outstanding electricity, it represents the amount that is payable to someone. So this is personal account.
Sir, could you explain this again? Why it is personal account?
If there is any prefix before an income or an expense, it is no longer a nominal account.
सर प्रीफिक्स
It
का मीनिंग बताओगे क्या?
becomes, just a minute, it becomes a personal account. Guys, don't just, if you want to talk to me, just raise your hand. You have an option. I'll call out your name and you can talk to me. The thing what happens is if just speak in between, it affects the flow of the lecture. The flow of the lecture gets disturbed. Okay. Just allow me a minute. I'll answer all the questions. Now, the reason that why outstanding electricity is considered as your personal account is, what do I mean by outstanding electricity? Outstanding electricity means the amount that is payable, the amount that we owe to someone. And we owe an amount to a person only, right? We owe an amount to per person. The outstanding electricity is your personal account. And also prepaid insurance is your personal account. Okay. Because what do I mean by prepaid insurance? It means I have paid an amount to someone in advance. This is what do I mean by prepaid expense. It represents the amount paid in advance to someone. Now to someone means to a person. Okay. Everyone got this? Yes, someone had a question. Please ask me a question now.
No, sir.
You got it? Okay, Pratham, works. Salary. Which account is this? Who would like to go?
Sir, nominal account.
Nominal account. Depreciation.
A nominal account.
Nominal account. And TCS Limited.
Sir, real
Personal.
account. Real.
Personal.
Personal.
TCS Limited is a company, right? TCS is a company and company is a person. Correct?
Okay, sir.
Sir, if the question was shares held in TCS, then it would be real account.
Perfect.
Okay.
Harshraj, should not it be real account? No, Harshraj, it cannot be a real account. It is not a thing, right? It is not a thing. Okay. Then guys, going forward, we are no longer sticking to personal real nominal to arrive at the journal entries. Okay. We are no longer sticking to personal real and nominal to record the journal entry. Why? At a time it becomes a bit confusing. You first have to determine whether it is personal real or nominal. Then remember the accounting rule, the golden rule, and then record a journal entry. Now, I have a mnemonic with me, which is EALIC. We go by this trick to record the journal entry. Okay. And in our entire FR syllabus, the accounting entries that we learn in each of the accounting standards that we have in our syllabus, we will be learning it through this trick EALIC. Okay, we will be recording those journal entries with this trick. Now, what do I actually mean by EALIC? Meaning to say, E stands for expense, A stands for asset. If you want to record an expense or an asset, you debit it. You debit it. However, if you want to record liability, income, or capital, you credit it. Okay. So EA will always be debited, expense and asset will always be debited, LIC will always be credited. That is, liabilities, income, and capital always credited. Okay. So if you want to record an expense or an asset, you will be debiting it. If you want to record a liability, income, or capital, you will be crediting it. However, if you want to reduce an expense or reduce an asset, you will be crediting it. Obviously, you want to record it, you debit it. You want to reduce it, you credit it. You credit it. Okay. If you want to record a liability, income, or capital, you credit it. But if you want to reduce it, then what you do is you debit it. You debit it. And this is something that will help us in recording the journal entries. Understood? So going forward, we will be recording the journal entry with this approach only. Okay. So I have some examples in front of me. What we do is we record the journal entry using this trick over here. Okay. Firstly, paid cash $10,000 for salary. Now please understand what is happening over here. You paid salary. Now you paid salary. Salary means you will be recording an expense. To record an expense, I debit it. So what I do is I debit salary. The moment I paid cash, it reduced my cash balance. My cash in hand fell down. So I want to reduce asset. So to reduce an asset, what should I do? Debit asset or credit asset? Credit it.
Credit.
So I will be crediting cash. Amount will be 10,000. Amount will be 10,000. Everyone understood this. Next example. Received rent $14,000. Now this is an income for me, right? If I want to record an income, I credit income. So credit rent income. But can I say I received cash? Assuming it to be I received cash. I received cash, my bank balance increases. My bank balance increases means my asset is increasing. So to increase an asset, I debit it. I debit it. So what I do is I debit either cash or I debit bank, and amount will be 14,000. Amount will be 14,000. Everyone understood this. And last transaction is Mr. A introduced capital $15,000 in the business. Mr. A introduced capital $15,000 in the business. Now, can I say I have to record capital over here? So to record capital, I will credit it. We received money. We received money. So what we do is we debit bank. Because you received money, your bank balance increased. You want to record an asset, you debit it. 15,000. I hope everyone understood this. Everyone got this.
Yes.
Yes, Sujata, you have a question? Okay. Now, guys, you have to tell me over here. What you have to tell me here is just a minute. What you have to tell me over here is state which balance, debit or credit, would the following accounts generally have. Okay, so we actually have already discussed this. So if it's an expense or asset, we generally debit it. If it is liability, income or capital, we credit it. Correct? So for if it's an expense, you will tell me debit. If it's an income, you will tell me credit balance. Asset, debit, liability, credit, income, credit. So you don't have to tell me income, expense, asset, liability. You have to tell me debit balance or credit balance. We start with furniture. Yes, Tanisha, which balance will furniture have?
Sir, debit.
Debit balance. Equipment. Yes, Pratham.
Debit balance.
Debit balance. Yes, Alok. Rent received.
Credit balance, sir.
Credit balance. Yes, Mudassar. Vehicle.
Debit balance, sir.
Debit balance because it's an asset. Next, Kalpana. Bank balance.
Debit.
Debit balance. Harshraj. Cash in hand.
Debit, sir.
Debit balance. Misty. Electricity expense.
Debit, sir.
Debit balance. Pooja. Office rent.
Debit balance.
Debit balance. Tejas. Salary.
Uh, debit balance.
Debit.
Debit balance. Dipanshu. Loan taken.
Credit balance, sir.
Credit balance. Perfect because it's a liability. Uh, Vandana. Loan given.
Debit balance.
Debit balance. Perfect. Rachit. Creditors.
Sir, creditors will be credit balance.
Credit balance. Pama. Daters.
Debit, sir.
Debit
Debit.
balance. Perfect. And Bhavish. Bhavish. Shares in Reliance Limited. Debit. Perfect. Perfect. So can we make a conclusion here? We make a conclusion here. Assets will always have debit balance. Assets will always have debit balance. Income will always have credit balance. Expense will again always have debit balance. Liabilities will always have credit balance. Understood? Everyone got this point. Perfect. Just a minute. Nothing, Tanushri. We just have gone through the basics of accounts that we have learned so far in our 11th and 12th standard. Nothing. We also discussed the paper pattern. That's it. We have not yet started anything related to FR so far. Pooja, I'm very much clear to identify personal, but I'm always confused while categorizing real and nominal account. Pooja, if it's anything which pertains to a thing, okay, non-living thing, then it's your real account. If it's anything related to your income and expense, it's your nominal account. Okay?
Okay. Thank you.
No problem. With this, guys, we are done with basics to our what I say is basics to financial accounts. Okay, financial reporting, I would rather say. Now, this is something that will form as our base for the future lectures. And going forward, we will be recording the journal entries using this trick only. Everyone? Okay. Yes, Pooja. Okay. Now, guys, one thing I wanted to tell you, I'm not starting with the theory chapter now. Now, in theory chapter, we have conceptual framework and we have IFRS 18. That is the new standard that has come across. Okay. So what I say is we directly start with IFRS 13. We will be covering everything that is there in our syllabus, but the sequence, I will decide the sequence. Okay. We follow a sequence and the sequence that I am following is for a reason. And you will understand the reason as and when we go through what I say is the syllabus. Because what happens is many standards are linked to one another. So unless and until I'm not done with a particular standard, I cannot touch other standard. And so what I have done is I have designed the schedule in a sequence. And that is the same sequence that you guys will be following. Okay, you guys will be following when you do your self-study. Please don't change the sequence. In the textbook, the sequence will be different and my sequence is different. We all stick to the sequence that we follow in class. Everyone? Okay. Now I received many questions in the chat box. I answer them one by one. Alok says, sir, कौन सी publishing का study material use करोगे आप? So I will be referring the VGLD textbook. I guess you must have received it, a soft copy. I'm not sure the soft copy or a hard copy. You must have received it.
Sir, soft
So
copy.
soft copy. Yes.
Sir, we
So
have
for,
books now.
sorry,
We have books, physical books.
physical books. Okay, that's fine. So we will be referring these textbooks for the theory part. And for regarding the questions that we will be practicing, I will be taking questions from ACCA Study Hub. How many of you are aware of ACCA Study Hub? How many of you have actually used it? I guess all. All of you have used it.
Sir, I have not used.
Okay, so I'll show it to you.
Also,
Perfect.
no.
So,
Yes, sir.
okay,
Sir,
no
because it's my
problem.
first paper FR and I have claimed exemption.
Okay. No problem. So all of you have received your credentials for your, what I say is, all of you have received what I say is the credential for your ACCA access. Perfect. Okay.
No, sir, I have not yet received, sir, because
No,
the
sir.
list is pending.
So
No, sir.
all,
Even I
okay, so,
didn't get. Yeah.
okay. So all those who have not received your ACCA credentials, the ACCA website credentials, stay in touch with your team, with the team from VGLD. I guess they must have helped you in your registration purposes, right?
Yes, sir.
So
Actually,
you can,
in my
just a minute, Rachit. Let me complete and then you can talk with me. Okay, just listen to what I am saying is, you must have received or you are maybe in the process of receiving your credentials from the ACCA website. What I will do is I will tell you how to access the question. So once you receive access to your study hub, to your ACCA credentials, you can then log in and practice the questions. Now see, in ACCA study hub, we have two sets of questions. First one is the practice questions, which we will be solving in class. And second one is the quiz questions. And these quiz questions would be your homework. So every chapter that we are done, you will be solving quiz questions from the study hub. So regular basis, you will be having at least 5 to 10 questions for a homework. Regular basis, not on a daily basis, but for every week, you will be having anywhere around 5 to 10 questions as a homework. In addition to the classwork questions that we do. Okay. Now, just a minute, I take all the questions one by one. Textbooks not received soft copy or hard copy. Mudassar, guys, all those who have not received the textbooks, please get in touch with your student mentor, whatever the support team. Get in touch with your support team and they will help you out in this. Okay? Yes, Rachit, tell me.
Sir, actually, ACCA, for me, they are telling that you need to register first for the ACCA portal, and for that, they need my graduation certificate, which I will receive after 15 days from my college.
Okay, so that's fine. See, anyways, I will be having practice questions with me. So you can start solving your quiz questions, your homework questions once you receive your credentials. That would be fine. Okay?
For sir, receiving that credentials, I will be needing 2 to 3 weeks, 2 weeks to get the result, and then after getting it.
That's what I understand. I understand. But till then, we have many questions in our notes that we will be solving in our class. So that's fine. That's okay. Okay.
Yes.
Uh, sir, how would we get access to your class notes? I'll get in touch with the team, the support team with this for once. Let me see how I can share the notes. Can we not make a WhatsApp group? I'll get in touch with the support team first. Let us see what the support team says, and then I'll pass on the message to you guys. Okay? Okay. So guys, we are now starting with IFRS 13. Okay? We are now starting with IFRS 13, that is the fair value measurement. No problem, Tripti. You will get an idea as in when we solve questions in Excel. Okay?
हेलो सर सर वो जो स्टडी टेक्स्ट जो आप प्रेफर करोगे वो मतलब कापलान और बीपीपी नहीं होगा वो सिर्फ वीजीएलडी की बुक होगी
Yes, the VGLD book and the study hub. That's it. Don't refer any other books in addition to this. Just stick to two things.
एंड सर टेस्ट होगा सर हर चैप्टर के बाद टेस्ट
Yes, I will be announcing some surprise tests.
ओके
Guys, it's mixed. It will be both theory and practical. So can we solve doubts other than study after lecture is done? I did not get. Okay. Okay, guys, we are now starting with IFRS 13. Okay.
Sir, you will not use the Kalpana textbook?
No, I'm not going to use that.
Okay. Alright, sir.
Because the ACCA body no longer, what I say is, says that these books are approved learning content. So I am against these books now. I just refer what I say is the study hub only because the questions that are there on the study hub are the exam standard questions only. Okay. Okay. Just give me a minute. I'll make the setup ready. And then we start with IFRS 13. Okay. Let me also open the book. Just a minute, wait. Hmm, where is the check? There should be no wait. Hmm. Okay. Now, guys, what actually happens is IFRS, that is International Financial Reporting Standard that we have, it places more emphasis on fair value. Okay. So it says that the transactions that generally happen need to be recorded at fair value. So for that, let us understand the meaning of fair value. Okay. I'll zoom in a bit. Okay. Now let us understand what I mean by is fair value. What do I mean by fair value? Now guys, IFRS 13. The name of the standard is fair value measurement. Okay. Now what do I mean by fair value? See, it is the price that you will receive on selling an asset or while transferring a liability in an orderly transaction between the market participants. Rather, I would say between the knowledgeable market participants. Okay. Price to be received on selling an asset or transferring a liability. Now, what do I mean by transferring a liability, guys? Transferring a liability means paying off a liability, settling a liability, okay? Or transferring a liability in an orderly transaction. Now, what do I mean by orderly transaction? Okay, I'll come back to it. In an orderly transaction between the market participants. Now, what do I mean by orderly transaction? This means the transaction should not be a forced one. Let us say I show a gun to Harshraj. I show him a gun that buy this iPhone of mine for 5 lakhs. He will buy it. Correct, Harshraj? Will you buy it? Now, just because I received 5 lakhs on selling my iPhone, is this my fair value? The answer is no. This 5 lakhs is not my fair value. Why? Because this is not an orderly transaction. Rather, it was a forced transaction. Okay. Had I would have not shown him a gunpoint, I would have got the market value only, right? Why would he pay me more than the market value? I want to sell my iPhone. Let us say today in market, the second-hand iPhone is being sold at 60 to 70,000. Will he pay me more than 60 to 70,000? The answer is no. So in such a case, 60 to 70,000 is the fair value of my mobile phone. Okay. Everyone understood the definition of fair value? Everyone understood. So what is a fair value? It is a price that would be received to sell an asset or paid to transfer a liability in an orderly transaction between market participants at the measurement date. Now, guys, think and tell me logically, if I am measuring my asset or liability, that is, if I am measuring my fair value at an entry price or at an exit price. Am I measuring it at entry price or exit price? Read the definition and tell me logically. Yes, Mudda sir.
Exit price.
Obviously exit price. Why? Because the definition says selling an asset or transferring a liability. Transferring a liability means paying off a liability. So what is an amount that you will receive for selling this asset or pay, or the amount that you will pay? I'll have to add, or I'll write over here, to be paid right. So it is always the exit price that I consider, always the exit price and not an entry price. Everyone understood this. Everyone? Okay. Next I have is hierarchy of inputs. Now please pay attention what I am discussing. Now see, I want to find out a fair value, correct? Now to find out a fair value, I have hierarchy of inputs. The standard has given me 3-level hierarchy, level 1, level 2, and level 3. Okay. Now what we are learning is that how is the fair value actually determined? How is the fair value derived? So our next topic for discussion is the hierarchy of inputs. We are discussing level 1 inputs for now, level 1 inputs. Okay, we are discussing level 1 inputs. Now, what are level 1 inputs? It means quoted prices. Please pay attention on the screen, everyone. Quoted prices for identical assets in active markets. In active markets. Now, what do I mean by this? This is something that standard says. Okay, this is something that the standard says. Let us say I am owning a black Hyundai i10. Okay, I want to sell my Hyundai i10. Let us say I don't want to sell my Hyundai i10, but I want to find out the fair value. What is the fair value of my Hyundai i10? What I will do is I will look for an identical car in the market. Let us say I am not able to find out black Hyundai i10, but I could find out red Hyundai i10. Now tell me, what will you do in such a case? What you will see is what was the price at which this car was sold in the market recently? What was the price at which this same car was sold in the market recently? Guys, black and red makes no difference. You purchase any car at any color, there is no difference. Let us say this Hyundai i10 was sold for 1,50,000. So I will say that the fair value of my Hyundai i10 is also 1,50,000. This is my level 1 input. Everyone understood? What do we do in level 1 input? We find out an identical asset in the market and we see at what price was the identical asset sold recently. And that price, that value becomes my fair value. See, I am not actually selling my asset. I am not actually selling my asset. Don't you think this is the same thing that you will do? Just imagine you own a car, you want to sell it off. Now, how will you decide the selling price? Will it be any random number, or you will be seeing at a at a number at which this car was sold recently in the market? What will you do? You only think and tell me. You will be seeing at what price was this car sold in the market. Now that becomes your fair value. Okay? Everyone with me so far?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, next is level 2. Let us say you are not able to find out Hyundai i10 in the market, but you got to know about Hyundai Centro. Can I say Hyundai i10 and Hyundai Centro both are similar car only in terms of features? Both are compact cars, four-seater cars, and also in the same range. Hyundai i10 and Hyundai Centro, can I say both are same? See, I cannot say Mercedes and Hyundai i10 is similar. No, they are not similar. But yes, Hyundai i10 and Hyundai Centro is similar.
Sir, but
Mercedes and BMW
Santro
is
is
similar.
Sir, Santro is bigger than i10. Maruti Swift and Hyundai i10 is similar.
Swift and i10. You are saying Swift and i10. Chalo, we take Hyundai i10 and Centro only. Okay. We stick to this only. Okay. Let us say I am not able to find out an identical asset. I am not able to find out an identical asset. So what I do is I now make reference to level 1, level 2 inputs. Now, guys, can you make out the interpretation? What did I say? Only if I am not having identical asset with me, I make reference to similar asset, meaning to say, if no level 1 inputs are available, you now make reference to level 2 inputs. You just cannot directly start with level 2. Your first reference will be level 1 input. Second reference will be level 2 input. Everyone understood this. Now, what does level 2 input tell me? It is the quoted prices for similar assets in active markets or quoted prices for identical assets but in less active markets. I hope you understood the difference. I hope you all understood this. Huh? Now, what I will do in such a case is, let us say I compare my Hyundai i10. I compare my Hyundai i10 with my Hyundai Centro. Let us say the price at which Hyundai Centro was sold was 2,50,000. Now, what I will do is, I cannot take the price of Hyundai i10 as 2,50,000. Why? There is the difference in features of both the cars. Like Rachit said, sir, the size of the car is bit different. Hyundai Centro is bit bigger than Hyundai i10. Correct? So let us say the difference in features are as follows. The difference in features of both the cars. First one is the size. Second, Hyundai Centro is manual transmission and Hyundai i10, let us say it's automatic transmission. So second is transmission. Hyundai Centro, I just have petrol variant, but Hyundai i10, I have both petrol as well as CNG, so fuel variant. Now, in this case, what I will assume, what I will say is, I will say that, okay, the difference in the value of the car because of size is, let us say, just 20,000 rupees. Because of transmission, the difference is 50,000. Okay. And because of fuel variant, the difference is, let us say, 30,000. Because Hyundai i10 is smaller, so the price of Hyundai i10 will be less than 20,000 as compared to Centro. Transmission, Hyundai i10 is automatic, so this is a plus point for Hyundai i10, so I add. And fuel variant, let us say I have again a plus point for Hyundai i10, so I add. So what is the price that I get is, anyone? 60,000? The price that I get is 60,000. Now, this is not the price of Hyundai i10. This is the adjustment that I need to make to this 2,50,000 to arrive at the fair value of Hyundai i10. Everyone understood what we are doing here? So can I say both these features are a plus point for Hyundai i10, which outweigh the minus point? So my fair value for Hyundai i10 will be 3,10,000. And how did I get this 3,10,000 is 2,50,000, the price of Hyundai Centro, plus 60,000. That is the adjustment that I made to the fair value on account of the feature. Everyone understood? Everyone understood this? So this is the fair value of my Hyundai i10. Let me know if you have any doubts or questions. Mudassar, I just took an example. These are all the random assumed numbers. Less active market means the volume of transactions are not happening over there frequently. So the active market for iPhones is India because of the volume of transactions. Now let us say I take a country like Africa, South Africa. Now there, the volume of iPhones is not that much, right? So for iPhones, South Africa or Africa would be a less active market. Okay, so less active market is a market with the lowest or lower volume of transactions. Could you please summarize the whole explanation of example? See, so generally what I am doing over here is I want to find out the fair value of my Hyundai i10. But I am not able to find out another Hyundai i10 in the market. I know that recently Hyundai Centro was sold in the market for 2,50,000. But are both these cars same? No. These cars are similar. But both the cars are having similar features. Sorry, they are having difference in features. Firstly, to the size. Second is the transmission, that is automatic or manual car. And third one is the fuel variant. Now let us say i10 and i10 is having plus point for both transmission and fuel variant. So I add. The size of Hyundai Centro is bigger than i10. So I subtract. Why? Because this is a plus point for Centro. That is a minus point for i10. So I'll subtract this 20,000. I'll add these two. The price is 60,000. The difference in fair value due to the characteristics is 60,000. So 2,50,000 is the Centro. I adjust it for the characteristics. So 3,10,000 is the fair value that I get. Understood? Everyone understood this? Sangeeta, I just repeated the example. But sir, what if we are also not able to find out Hyundai Centro in the market? Chances might be there. Chances might be there, right? Let us say you are not able to find out Hyundai i10. You are not able to find out the similar car also. So in such a case, IFRS 13 tells that please refer to level 3 inputs. Please refer to the level 3 inputs. Now, the level 3 inputs are given the least priority. Why? Because it is based on management estimates. Okay. So, based on management estimates such as cash flows or profits, etc. Now, guys, why is this given a least priority? Because the cash flows and profits that we consider, that are considered by the management, will be what I say is an estimate. Now, what will management do is management will say that, okay, we are expecting to generate a cash flow. If we use this asset, we are expecting to generate a cash flow of 2,50,000. Let us value our asset at 2,50,000 only. So this is how the management derives at its own value. This is how the management derives at its own value. Now, this is not market based. This is these numbers, the calculations that will be made are not market based. And hence, level 3 inputs are given the least priority. Level 3 inputs are given the least priority because these are based on the estimates that are made by the management on the basis of the cash flows and profit. So, guys, if you understand, you have to follow a hierarchy. You first give reference to level 1 input. Level 1 input are not available. You give reference to level 2 input. Level 2 input is also not available. Then you have to make reference to level 3 input. Everyone understood this. How they estimate basis their experience and past experiences and their yes, based on their past experiences only. Guys, one by one. If similar and less identical market both are there, which value to consider? Always identical first and then similar. See, only in absence of identical, you can make reference to similar. Okay. Amina, level 3 is nothing but just let us say you are not able to find out the identical asset nor the similar asset. So what will management do is it will estimate the cash flows or the profits that it is expecting to generate from the continuing use of this particular asset or the liability. Okay. This is level 3. Yes, Mudha sir.
Sir, in level 2, as you said, there are two cases. One is similar and second one is less identical. So if
No,
both,
less
if in
active.
less identical or prices for identical asset. So if similar asset value is also available and less identical asset is also available in less active market, sorry,
hmm.
then what price to be considered?
So that's what you will have to see the market. Is it an active market or a less active market? So generally, this only is considered. So what they see is that if the market is a less active one, then what you have to do is whatever price you get, you have to adjust it for the difference in features. Generally, depending on the demand of the product. See, if the demand of the product is not there, then obviously you'll have to adjust it for this characteristic, right?
Yes, sir. So
See, there
first
will never be
preference, yeah.
both. Yes, there will
Okay.
never be both. There will either be this or this. There will never be both at the first place.
Okay. In real world also?
Yes, obviously, that's what I'm saying. I'm talking about real world only.
Okay.
See, FR, I'm talking all about real world, nothing bookish knowledge, all here practical knowledge. I guess, Pooja, yes, the recordings might be uploaded, but you will have to check with the support team for once, okay? Everyone understood this? Fair value, everyone understood, everyone got this? Okay. So, accounts training, less active market means the volume of transactions are less. The market is not active. Okay, that particular product is not frequently traded in that particular market. Okay. So with this, we are done with the three level of inputs, level 1, level 2, and level 3. Everyone understood? Guys, this is just for your knowledge. It will not be tested. This standard is not tested separately in your exam. Okay. Even if gets asked, it will be get asked for 2 to 4 marks in your section A. That's it. Not more than that. You cannot expect any practical questions from this. Okay. Perfect. Just a minute. Okay. Now, guys, talking about the markets. Talking about the markets. Now, they are said to be there. Two types of markets are there. First one is the principal market. First one is the principal market. Now, this is the market with the highest volume. Okay. Market with the highest volume of transaction for the asset being measured. For the asset being measured. Okay. Everyone understood this. Now here you need to have access. Entity needs to have access to this market at the reporting date. At the not reporting date, I would rather say measurement date, the date on which you are measuring the fair value. Now, guys, whenever you want to find out the fair value, you first make reference to what I say is your principal market. Now, what is a principal market? It is the market with the highest volume of transactions for the asset that is being measured. Okay. And you need to have access to this particular market at the measurement date. Now, what do I mean by access? Is you can freely trade in this particular market. Okay. Only if there exists no principal market, then you make reference to the most advantageous market. Everyone understood this. So, first reference should be given to principal market. Only if there is no principal market, then you make reference to the most advantageous market. Now, the name itself tells me most advantageous. So, most advantageous market is the market which maximizes the amount to be received on selling of asset or minimizes the amount to be paid on transferring a liability. Correct? Everyone? Yes or no? So it is the market, the market that maximizes the fair value after taking I would rather say of an asset. After taking transportation and transaction cost into account. Okay. So we have principal market, we have most advantageous market. Only if there is no principal market available, then you can make reference to the most advantageous market. Everyone understood. Now, the example that I can give you, no access to the market. Now, given the recent war situation between India and Pakistan, all the trade between India and Pakistan is being suspended. So we can say that Pakistan has no access to the Indian market. So even if, let us say, iPhone is having the largest volume being sold in India, even though there is a principal market, the principal market is India, but because Pakistan is not having access to this market, it will have to go by the most advantageous market. It cannot take India's fair value price, India's price to arrive at the fair value. I hope everyone understood this. Active market is principal market? No. So principal market is the highest volume of the activity. Active market means the transactions are taking place frequently. Both are different. Okay. Priyanka, I answered this question. In second level, if similar asset in active market and identical asset in less active market, there can never be both. There can either be similar asset in active market or there can be identical asset in less active market. They can never be both. Okay. Everyone understood this, guys. Both the markets, everyone understood the principle. And Rahul, what do you want me to repeat again? Guys, firstly, switch your cameras on, everyone. I see the cameras off. I want everyone the cameras on. Sir, I am unable to correlate between war example and advantageous market. One by one. See, there was recently a war situation that had happened. Now Pakistan has no longer the access to the Indian market because of the restrictions that are put in place, right? Now in this case, even though Pakistan, let us say, wants to measure the fair value of iPhone, even if someone from Pakistan wants to measure the fair value of iPhone, it cannot refer the fair value prices in India because they do not have access to the market. So in this case, Pakistan will have to consider the most advantageous market and not the principal market. That's it. Most advantageous market, the highest fair value that you get for asset. So what you will do is you will find out the fair value for all the assets in all the different markets. So the most advantageous one would be the one where you are getting the highest price for your asset. So let us say China, you are getting $1 lakh. India, you are getting $1,50,000. So most advantageous would be India. Principal market per me, please pay attention. Principal market is the market where the highest volume of activity is there. Okay. With the highest volume of transactions for the asset being measured. So for iPhones, India is a principal market. Okay. Yes, Mudda sir.
Even if China and India both are considering transportation and transaction cost, but still we'll go with India since it is having a highest value.
Obviously. So you will have to consider the net amount. That is, you will be subtracting both the transaction and transportation cost.
Okay.
You will look at the net amount. Okay. You will look at the net amount. Okay. Now what next are we left in? Hmm. That's fine. Terminology, active method, we are done. Yes, now, guys, many a times what happens is we have non-financial asset. Now, what do I mean by non-financial asset? Now, it is an asset which cannot be converted into fixed units of currency. For example, land. For example, land. I cannot convert land into a fixed unit of currency. For example, my trade receivable amount. This is my financial asset. I know that in my balance sheet, I have 1 lakh receivable. This means that I am going to receive 1 lakh in future. Okay. But with the land, it's not that the case. Now, in case of non-financial asset, we give reference to the highest and best use. Now, what do I mean by this? Let us say I can use a piece of land for both either industrial purpose or for agricultural purpose. Okay. So what we do is we make reference to the highest and best use. If, let us say, I am having a piece of land and the industrial use will fetch me 1.5 crores, then the fair value will be 1.5 crores. And here there is an assumption that is made that the current use is the highest and best use unless there exists an evidence. Meaning to say, agricultural activity is giving me 1.5 crores, industrial is giving me 1 crore. Then even though, let us say, I am using it for agricultural purpose only, so my fair value will be 1.5 crores in this case. But let us say the things are reversed now. Agricultural use, the fair value that I get is 1 crore, but industrial use, it is giving me 1.5 crores. Now, can I say this time you are having an evidence, a sufficient evidence that industrial use is giving you more value? So in this case, I will still be taking 1.5 crore as my fair value, even though I am not using it for industrial purpose. So this is what do I mean by the highest and best use. Okay. So the highest and best use, this is the VGLD textbook, page number 12. The use of a non-financial asset by market participants, which would maximize the value of the asset or the group of assets and liabilities within which the asset would be used. Okay. This is my highest and best use. Okay. And whenever you consider highest and best use, you also need to see physical possibilities for use. Can I actually use this land for agricultural purpose? Because if the soil is infertile, I cannot use that land for agricultural purpose. Okay. You also need to see the legal allowances for use. Do I have a legal permission to use this? Third, is it financially feasible for this particular use? Okay. Highest and best use excludes illegal activities, but includes economically viable options, considering the financial constraints. Okay. So fair value may assume the asset will be combined with or complement other assets or liabilities available to market participants. If the assets best use in combination with others, its fair value is based on the best use, regardless of its current standalone use. So even if you are using the land for a purpose which is fetching you 1 crore today, and the highest and best use is fetching you 1.5 crores, you need to measure your asset at 1.5 crores only. Everyone understood this. Everyone understood this. Okay. Price, you can just go through this for once. Okay. There are three common valuation techniques. First one is market approach, cost approach, and income approach. Guys, in practice, people follow market approach only. What is the price in the market? Okay. It uses prices and information from market transactions involving identical or comparable assets or liabilities. Cost approach. It reflects the amount required to replace the service capacity of the asset. That is current replacement cost. Meaning to say, if I want to purchase this same asset in the prior same asset today, how much will it cost me? So this is what do I mean by cost approach or the replacement cost method. If I want to replace the asset, how much would it cost me? The amount that it will cost me will be my fair value. But no one actually follows this. People follow the market approach only. And third one is the income approach, that is the level 3 input based on the present value model. And you can just ignore this. This is not there in your syllabus, black and short option pricing, not there in your syllabus. Everyone understood this. Everyone. With this, we are done with IFRS 13 that we require. Okay. There is nothing much in your IFRS 13. Okay. Now, disclosure requirements. So, do we need to remember or learn the disclosure requirements? The answer is no. Now, every accounting standard that we learn will have its own disclosure requirements. Now, what do I mean by disclosure? Is the detailed information that you need to give in your notes to accounts, in your financial statements. So do we need to remember the list of disclosure? The answer is no. But you can just read through it once for your knowledge purpose. It is never tested neither in your FR level nor in your SBR level. They never test the disclosure requirements. Okay. So in every standard, you will come across the scope of the standard. You will come across the disclosure of the standard. You need not learn that. You need not learn that. Everyone with me? Okay. Guys, it's 5:40. We take a 15-minute break. We resume at 5:55 and then we continue. Everyone, don't leave the meeting. Be there in the meeting room. Just keep your cameras off and your mics off. Are we all back? Everyone?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Let me see what I can do.
Yes, sir.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, could you just give a summary of that three hierarchies once again, sir? Level 1, level
Okay.
2, level.
Who's
I,
this?
I am Rachit, sir.
Okay. Okay, guys, one thing to be noted. Only for today, we have the class till 6:30. From the next week, okay, from the next week, we will be having class till 7 p.m. Okay. Yes, Tejas, I will be doing it. Just allow me a minute. Before that, let me once again explain, give a summary of IFRS 13. Now, see, if you want to find out the fair value of the product, who had a doubt, please switch your camera on.
Sir, I had a doubt.
Uh, Guys, keep your cameras on, everyone. Now, see, whenever you want to find out the fair value, how is it that you find out the fair value? You first give reference to the quoted prices in the active markets. Okay. So first reference that you give is to the identical markets, identical asset. Okay. For example, Hyundai i10 black and Hyundai i10 red. What you do is, on the basis of the price you got for Hyundai i10, you determine the fair value for your Hyundai i10, which is black in color. Now, black and red over here was just to explain the difference, was just to consider the fact that these are identical. So even if it's black Hyundai i10 and black Hyundai i10, they are still your identical asset. Let us say you are not able to find out an identical asset in the market. So in such a case, you will make reference to a similar asset. You are not able to find out Hyundai i10 in the market. So you will make reference to a similar asset. Once you find out the similar asset, you get the fair value of this similar asset. You will have to adjust this 2,50,000 for the difference in characteristics. Now see, both the products, both the assets will be having difference in characteristics. Are you listening, Rachit, or you're noting it down something?
Sir, I am listening also and noting it down. So now I am
Noting, you can, okay. Noting it down, you can keep it later on. See, I will be sharing these notes to the team, and team will be uploading it. They will be sharing it with you. Okay.
understanding.
So
Okay, sir.
just so in case of level 2 inputs, now see, because both the assets are similar, they are not identical. So obviously they have difference in characteristics. So don't you think the fair value that you got 2,50,000 also needs to be adjusted for the difference in characteristics of the features? So these are just the example that I have taken. There will be no such illustration in your example. I just wanted to explain you this with the help of numericals. Let us say you are also not able to find out Hyundai Centro in the market. So in this case, management will estimate a fair value, and that will be based on the cash flows or the profit numbers. And this is given the least priority. Level 3 inputs are always given the least priority because these are not market-based numbers. These are an estimates. And estimates are subject to, they are subjective, I would say. Estimates are subjective. Okay. Subjective means keeps on changing from person to person. You cannot justify the fact. You cannot justify the numbers with any documentary evidence. Okay. Now, going forward, many standards that we learn, for example, IAS 16, IAS 38, IAS 40, IAS 41, IAS, IFRS 5, IAS 36, all these standards have the word fair value. Hence, we covered this chapter today because unless and until we don't know fair value, it will be challenging for us to understand those standards. Okay. So there we will be just coming across the word fair value. So how to find out fair value? You make reference to IFRS 13. Everyone understood this.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
perfect. Any other doubts, anyone on IFRS 13 fair value measurement? Tomorrow, same timing. No weekday classes. It will be on weekends only. It will be on Saturday, Sundays only, and it will be same timing, guys. 4 to 6. Tomorrow, 4 to 6:30. Priyanka, non-financial asset, it's based on highest and best use. You want to find out the fair value, you need to consider the highest and best use. Now, what do I mean by highest and best use? The use which fetches you the highest value. Okay. So the current use is deemed to be highest and best use unless there exists a evidence to the contrary. Any WhatsApp group, I'll have to talk to the team. I'll have to discuss with them. Let me get in touch. Give me time till Monday. The team will be, back on operational on Monday. So I'll text them on Monday and we will discuss it in the upcoming week. Apart from those, any other doubts in IFRS 13, guys, you have? Tell me. Anyone?
No, sir, no edit.
Okay. Now, please let us go through the study hub for now. So once you come to log into your ACCA Study Hub, your portal, you have to go to My Qualification. You go to My Qualification, scroll down, you will get Study Hub. Okay, once you log into your ACCA portal, My Qualification, Study Hub, you go to Study Hub. Please note this down, guys. If you want, please note it down, or else you will forget. And I'll get an excuse for sir homework not done. Okay, now here you will have to search financial reporting. Okay, you'll search financial reporting here. Just a minute, it's getting loaded. And guys, be mindful. You have to select the September 25 to June 26 variant, not the September 24 to June 25. There are two. Please note this down somewhere. You will be going to September 25 to June 2026. You have to go your study. Now, once you go to study, you see there are different chapters here. Okay. And guys, the sequence that they have followed is not the sequence that I will follow. You will follow my sequence only for a reason. Okay. Everyone, they have done revenue first. I will be starting with IAS 16 first. Okay. So the sequence that we have, we will be following that sequence only. Okay. So the practice questions that we have, can you see practice questions on the left hand side? These are the questions that we will be solving in class. Okay, we will be solving these questions in class. Some of these I will be giving you homework as well, but the quiz questions will be completely your homework. It will completely be your homework. Now see, they have just given chapter 1, 2, and 3. So let us say I tell you, you have to practice questions on IAS 16. So what is the chapter number for IAS 16? 7. So quizzes, you'll come to chapter 7 and you will be solving these 5 questions. And 27 multiplied by 5, almost 135 questions. Not 135, just a minute, 5 to the 10. Yes, 135 questions would be your homework, guys. Not on one day, but over a period of time. Now, let us say I am done with IAS 16. You will be solving these 5 questions from chapter 7. And why I am insisting on study hub questions is because see what they do. They also keep a track on your average answer time, average correct answer time, and average incorrect answer time. So it will help you develop the speed that, okay, I have to work on my speed. If you solve these manually on a computer, you use any other books, then you won't be able to keep a track on time. Okay. So solve these questions only. These will entirely be your homework. There are 27 quizzes. So as and when we are done with the chapter, let us say we will be done with IAS 16 tomorrow, and we might start with some other chapter tomorrow. So IAS 16 is done. Before the next Saturday, you have to complete these 5 questions on IAS 16. Everyone. So this will be your homework. Yes, Pratham.
यार अभी मेरे पास ACCA पोर्टल का एक्सेस नहीं है.
So that's what you can get in touch with your team, with the support team, and you can ask them that by when are you expecting to get this? Or else what you can do is, guys, if you want, you can exchange your numbers each other and you can take screenshots from those who are having the access for now if you want to start practicing. But no worry, we will be having enough questions with us, the practice questions. Quiz questions, you can start solving them as and when you receive your credentials. All those who have received your credentials, do it from the next week only. Okay, don't solve the questions today. We have not touched anything from our chapter. IFRS 13, you will not find any questions on that. Theory chapter, I have not done. Okay, so you'll have to start solving questions from Monday or tomorrow if you want on IAS 16. Anything else you guys want to ask? You guys want to ask me? Just a minute. Pooja, I'll suggest you to get in touch with the support team for once. Okay. So generally, unless and until you don't have the ACCA credentials, the ACCA portal credentials, you won't be able to access the study hub. But I'll request you to get in touch with the support team on Monday. Okay. They will help you out in this. Okay. Great. Recorded video lectures, I guess you will be able to get an access, but again, please reach out to your support team. Guys, you can ask me all the queries, pertaining to the IFRS, that is the FR. For all these things now, the ACCA portal, the recordings, you can just reach out to your to the support team for once because they can better guide you and help you in this thing. Okay, everyone. Now, I'll give you, let us discuss something on IAS 16. I'm not starting the chapter. What all things are we going to discuss in the non-current asset stuff? See, this is how I will be naming the file of my notes. Lecture 2, IAS 16 PPE, and then the date, 8th June 2025. So I will be doing this chapter tomorrow. Hence, I have given this, what I say is date. Okay. Just understand what happens. Let us say I want to start a business. Now, to do a business, I need a non-current asset. Let us say machinery. Okay. I want to do a manufacturing business for which I'll need to purchase machinery. Okay. Now, machinery, how do we do the accounting for this machinery is something that is written in IAS 16:16 property, plant and equipment. Okay. So something that we will be learning tomorrow. I'm just giving an overview. What all relating to this property, plant and equipment that we will be studying. Let us say I have three different sources to buy this machinery. First one is I buy it using my own funds. I buy it using my own funds. Second, I manufacture it manufacture this machine myself, manufacture the machine through borrowed funds. Through borrowed funds. Let us say government helps me that, okay, Bhavik, you are doing a good job. You are generating employment in this particular area. We want to help you with some assistance. So government gives me some money, which is known as government grants. So if I purchase this machinery from my own funds, I will be applying IAS 16. If I manufacture this machinery through a loan fund, through a borrowed fund, then in this case, IAS 16 will be applicable. But in addition to this, we will also be taking care of the standard borrowing cost, which is IAS 23. Which is IAS 23. Government has helped me with some funds. Okay, we help you. Now for this, we will be making reference to IAS 20, which is government grants. IAS 20, which is government grants. Now, let us say there was some major earthquake or major natural calamity, or my machine has become obsolete. So, there will be a drastic fall in the value of my asset. Drastic fall in value of the asset. And this fall in value is in addition to the depreciation that you have charged. So, for this, we will be learning the chapter IAS 36, that is impairment of assets. We will be learning IAS 36, that is impairment of assets. I am someone who is dealing in biological assets. Now, what do I mean by biological assets? Is the cow, buffalo, dog, poultry, my bearer tree, such as mango tree, grapevines, and so on. Now, guys, for this, we have the standard agriculture, which is IAS 41. Now, all these standards are a part of your property, plant, and equipment appearing in your balance sheet. So these are all the standards that we will be studying in the sequence. Unless and until we are not done all with this all together, we won't be moving to the next section. Okay. Let us say I have purchased a property that is either a land or a building for investment purpose. Now, what do I mean by investment purpose? Is to give it out on rent to someone or for capital appreciation. Can I say we generally invest in property for capital appreciation only? My grandfather had purchased a land, let us say for 3 lakhs in 19 somewhere around 60 or 1965. I was not born also at that time. Even my father was not born at that time. Okay. Let us say its value today is 3 CR. Now, can I say this is my capital appreciation from 3 lakhs to 3 CR over 35 and 25, 60 years? Okay, over 60 years. Now, this is known as my investment property. How do we account for this change from 3 lakhs to 3 crores is something that we will be learning in IAS 40, that is my investment property. Okay. So these are all the standards that we will be learning in our upcoming lectures. So the sequence would be IAS 16 first, then I'll be taking, I'll tell you the sequence. Or chalo, let us go, not to go into the sequence right now, but we will be going through this. Okay. Everyone understood this, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is something that we will be learning. And once we are done with this, I might announce a surprise test. Okay. And this test will come as a surprise at any point of time in between the lecture. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Mudassar, the reason FR is considered as first is because it helps you form a foundation for your AA paper. Unless and until you are not done with your FR, you have not learnt or studied your FR, your AA will become a mess. Okay? Because majority of the things that you learn in FR will get reflected in your AA. And FR is the best paper to start with. See, if you are regular in your class, you do what I tell you to do religiously, you do it religiously, then I'll guarantee you, you a pass. See, the pass rate for FR is also somewhere around 48 to 51 percentage. The global average rate is 48 to 50 percentage. So it gives you a boost start, a kick start. It boosts your confidence, which actually helps you clear other papers. Okay. So FR is always the best. Yes. Guys, how many of you are working professionals? Just raise your hand. No, don't write me. You have that. I'll get a count. Okay. Okay, fine. And all of you are from India, right? Anyone from a foreign country? Just a minute. Let me see if I can do something. I can show you. Okay, I took 16. Okay. So guys, that's fine for the day. I'm not starting what I say is I'm not starting anything new today. So in tomorrow's class, we start with IAS 16, the new chapter. Okay, which will be our completely FR something new that we will be studying. Okay. Mudassar, uh, yes, I have given my intro already. I was determined from my early days only. I'll tell you, when I was in my 10th standard, so the principal of my school, he used to ask me to wait after class and help all the weak students in their studies. So he had identified certain students. So what he used to do is he used to gather, collect their what I say is report, the marks, and he used to help me. He used to tell me to help these students with maths paper. So after my class, my school used to get over at 2:30 p.m. I used to stay back in school till 3:34 p.m. and I used to help them in mathematics. So I thought, okay, this is something that I can help, people simplify and simplify the concepts. So yes, once I became an ECC, I took this line only. So I have been doing this when I was 15 years old. Okay. That time I just used to help my principal. He told me that help the kids of our school. So yes. So how to go to study hub. Pama, you can, just log into ACCA study hub. Go to Google, just type ACCA study hub. Okay. Once you log in, they will ask your credentials. You have to go to my qualifications. Scroll down. You have to go to the study hub. Okay. Fine. So guys, we wind up here for today. Okay, we wind up here for today. Tomorrow we connect at 4 p.m. We start with IAS 16. And don't be absent tomorrow. We are starting with our actual syllabus tomorrow. Today was the basics that was required to start our FR subject. Okay. Sir, can't we create the ACCA credentials before getting the graduation passing certificate? HP, the best person to answer this would be your, what I say is the support team. Okay. Actually, it is a document that is required. Once the ACCA verifies these documents, your registration is considered final. Okay. Okay. Chalo. Yes, Kalpana,
सर
tell me. What do you want to
मेरे
ask?
को एक बारी VGLD में फेयर वैल्यू पेज नंबर कौन सा था एक बार बता दोगे?
Uh, just a minute. I guess, just a minute. It's in page number 12, I believe. Just a minute. Let me go through it. Page number 12. It's in chapter number, I'll tell you. It's in chapter number 2, conceptual framework. Okay. It's a part of your conceptual framework only.
Thank you.
No problem. Page number 12. It might be on 12 or 13. Okay. Chalo, bye. Good night. Take care. See you all tomorrow at 4 p.m. Okay? Bye bye.
Bye,
Okay,
sir.
sir. Goodbye.
Thank you, sir.
No problem.